Hello, I'm Patrick Prince, joined by Tulsa World columnist bill-haisten. Bill, you got a Sunday column kind of looking back at the 2024 year in sports. But before we get into that, tell us about your cool hat.
Okay, it's so this coming year will be my 35th with the Tulsa World, right? So up here you got this little branding, my initials BH and TW, and on the back, my start year. I look like I've been wearing a hat. 1990 was the year I started with the World, and there's that. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. It was a great gift. So
That's
yeah,
a long time. I was a senior in high school in 1990.
well, right. And then but and then you think, well, 35 years, and you think of great coworkers like Randy Crable and Mike Brown, and then they were there much longer than that even. So I'm proud to be in that club with Jimmy Trammell and Randy and Mike Brown and those guys who have spent, most of a lifetime at the Tulsa World. So I just think that's a pretty cool association.
When you first started at the Tulsa World, how long did you think you'd be here? You're not a
Three
Tulsa
years,
native. You're not from here.
2 or 3 years, because I had been everywhere. Well, to that point, I had been at Galveston exactly 2 years before I came here, and I had been at Paris, Texas before that exactly 2 years. And I just thought that's the progression, right? I'll go to Tulsa for 2 or 3. But then by the mid 90s, I was like, I really like it here. And then my son was born in Tulsa, and then you get, you know, and then he became an athlete, and you get entrenched in youth sports, and then obviously, and then Boone and Mike Gundy and Mike Holder happened over at Oklahoma State when I was on the beat, and it was like, why would I leave? I mean, this is a great place to work for a sports journalist. It's a great place to live, period. Um, so yeah, I mean, I thought I'd be here 2 or 3 years, and now I've been here more than half of my life. And I would never go back to Texas. I'm very happy here.
All right, you've got a Sunday
Nothing
column.
against Texas,
Yeah.
Patrick. I just love it here. I'm not like proclaiming I'm not condemning Texas. I love Texas, but this is home now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, you've got a column coming out this in Sunday's Tulsa World, looking back at the year 2024. And like you just said, you've been around a long time, you've seen a lot. How will 2024 be remembered for you?
Well, it's a column, but it's also a full page of pieces to kind of take the reader back through the year at some of the signature moments and stories. How will it be remembered for me? I mean, the Thunder had a great. It's been an amazing resurgence for the Thunder, right?
Yeah.
To come back from such a short rebuild, if you think about it, 2 years, and then all of a sudden they're the one seed in the West, and now they're considered one of the favorites to win it all. And then OU softball, they win their fourth consecutive national championship. Amazing. Um, and they're eighth since 2000. But to me, and then the high school football season was fantastic. Provided a lot of great theater and drama. Bixby wins another championship. That's 7 in a row for Bixby. But ultimately, to me, this year, like every year, every sports year is remembered, at least in my mind, for like one kind of signature thing: person, game, tragedy, story, whatever. And to me, this year, 2024, will be remembered for having been an awful college football season in this state. For OU, OSU, and Tulsa to have been so bad simultaneously, for them to have combined for a 3-22 record in conference play. It was just, because you could have made a case in August for all three of them having kind of either a really special season or a super interesting season, or like Tulsa, I thought they would be good enough offensively to at least get to a bowl. And it was just awful, just a terrible season. And then at OSU, the Gundy controversy and the Gundy contract situation. And then at OU, just the worst offense I've ever seen. But no, it's not the worst offense I've ever seen from OU, but certainly the worst since the Bob Stoops era began right
Yeah.
in '99. So just a terrible, terrible college football season that usually if like one or two of them are really bad. You got a third one that's having a nice season. We didn't have that this year. It was a shared experience all over the state. Everybody was miserable.
I mean, we're talking about 2024, but when you were explaining things just now, it kind of made me think, what are we going to be in store for next year? Do you see football rebounding much?
Well, that's either the beauty or the curse of however you look at it, of the portal era and the NIL era, but the portal, because there will be such tremendous turnover with rosters year to year to year. You don't know what you're going to get. In most years, you don't really know what you're going to get at the quarterback position. There's going to be what the old template of developing offensive linemen, and then in their third year, you plug them in together and they've repped on the practice field for 2 years together, and you've got this cohesive unit. Those days are gone. So I don't know. I don't know if it's sure everybody has the potential to have a really amazing turn from one year to the next, but you don't know because of the uncertain, because you don't have that team building component over 3 or 4 years that you used to have. So yeah, I mean, there's every chance that OSU has a great season, that OU rebounds and goes to the SEC championship game, or that Tulsa wins 8 games with Trey Lamb. Don't know. It's kind of a year to year deal now with the portal having such a great impact on football.
Okay, last question. You mentioned the Thunder earlier. Let's look ahead for the Thunder a little bit. Are they going to win the title this year?
I would say probably not, because when the Celtics get really, really, and the Celtics are in Oklahoma City on Sunday. Barry Lewis and I will be at that game. So I think when the Celtics really, really get serious about defending their championship, they will do that, regardless of who comes out of the West. But I do think the Thunder, and that's crazy too. Think about it. Without Chet Holmgren now, 5.5 game lead in the Western Conference, getting into the new calendar year. They have a 13 game as we speak, as we're recording this on Friday. They have and they played the Knicks tonight, right? So they have a 13 game. It's the longest streak they've ever had. It's a Thunder era longest win streak ever. So with still a young team with Shai-Gileous-Alexander, Jalen-Williams, and all those guys. But I'm telling you, man, getting Isaiah Hartenstein, what a pickup that guy was. Oh my gosh. I knew he would make an impact because they were so desperate for size and, muscle in the paint. He's a very skilled big guy. He's not on Steven Adams' level of physicality, but he's about Steven Adams' size, and he's a really good passer. He's a great screen setter, and he can finish a bucket. So yeah, I'm a believer. Oklahoma City can go to the West, can go to the NBA Finals, but I'm just afraid that they would see Boston at that level, and then I think Boston's really good. So, but only a couple of years ago, Thunder was like 22-58 or 24-58. Right.
Yeah.
And here they are now, 57 wins last year, and probably going to be the 1 seed again this year. So amazing job, Mark Daigneault, Shai-Alexander, Sam Presti, that whole organization. Amazing job to identify what they needed and wanted with personnel, get those guys, and here you go. There's not a better front office in pro sports right now.
All right, you can catch Bill Hastings' look back at 2024 in the Sunday Tulsa World, as well as online at tulsaworld.com. Bill, good talking to you as always.
Thanks, Patrick.